Every other time I appeared on video, I was wearing a suit. Why was I now standing with my underpants down around my ankles in front of a webcam? Fighting stage 4 pancreatic cancer since 2017 was easy compared to what I went through during COVID. After one chemo treatment, I developed a rash across my groin. During COVID, I learned that my dermatologist only did video consultations. She had to see the rash in order to treat it, which is how I wound up naked from the waist down in front of a webcam, which was in front of a window with the shade stuck open, facing a neighbor's house. Enduring biweekly chemo was easy. Finding Purell, wipes, and toilet paper was hard. Life became increasingly surreal. MSK staff would be the only people I would talk to in person other than my wife. While waiting to get chemotherapy, I scoured the internet like a UFO zealot seeking sightings. And before leaving, I looked around the infusion room for masks and gloves to swipe. From industrial supply companies, I bought wagon wheel-sized rolls of paper towels that felt like sandpaper, and toilet paper so thin that I thought it was intended for maximum security prisons. Anxious to give my wife recent happy memories, while I still could, I booked a 3-week trip to Europe. Instead, I spent 3 weeks negotiating refunds from hotels and airlines and tours. United Airlines refused, until I said, I'm a former general counsel of a Fortune 500 company who really misses suing people and have a lot of free time. I almost hope you say no. When you're stage 4, you don't accept credits for future travel. Cancer and cancel are spelled very similarly. I read about a group sewing masks for healthcare workers. When I asked how to give them money, I wound up becoming their elastic procurement manager. Their Facebook group had 350 women and me, which would have been useful when I was 20, but not after being married to the same wonderful woman for many, many years. My blood tests and CT scan reports appeared online. Do you know anyone else with an MSK app on their phone between iTunes and ESPN? I pictured myself the model of serenity as I refreshed the screen every 8 seconds until the results appeared. Cancer blood tests had mysterious scoring systems. Since I had experience being anxious about those numbers, I knew I wanted either 200 to 800 or 0 to 4.0. CT scan reports contain phrases like non-specific hypodense lesion in the posterior inferior spleen. I looked for a translate to English button, a grade on either an A through F or a pass-fail scale, or even a smiley frowning face emoji, but I couldn't find one. So I met with my oncologist with a copy of my reports marked with as much red ink as my first law school paper. I now have had 2 surgeries, 130 chemo treatments, and 3 vaccinations. And I also have an extra year supply of Purell, wipes, and toilet paper.